So, this machine, again, same situation, red lockbox, green lock, the key is green. So, you will need to plug in the machine for the Rhino Tough machine. That's what we're using. It makes square holes. So, thicker cord gets plugged into the wall. It's pedal operated. I tend to operate the pedal with my hands. If you're doing like a mass amount of books, like put it on the floor and go assembly line style, but it's pretty easy to just operate it with your hands. So, first thing we're going to want to do is set our alignment. So it's going to be different from every project. Scrap piece of paper, cut to whatever size your meat is. It doesn't have to be the same kind of paper, just the same size as your project. So I'm going to feed it in. You can either drop it down like this or feed it in left to right if you have a big stack. And this is the alignment knob. So you can twist it, adjust it. Let's see what it does. Again, first test. So no fingers near it. The space is in general small enough where you shouldn't be able to get your fingers in, but don't try. So then I'm going to just carefully press it, punches it. We have punches. Cool. I'm not super happy with this alignment. I have a big space here and a little space here. I kind of want it a little tighter than that. So we're going to unscrew the adjustment knob and I'm just going to move it 2 points to the right. Try it again. See how we feel. A little better. So, do you know what size coil we're doing for them?
Doing 1 1/4.
1 1/4, so big.
Yeah.
So I feel like that should be good. Obviously, adjust your alignment. It's going to be different for every size. Any questions? One thing to watch out for is partial holes. Let me see if I can get a good example of that. Nope.
You're too good, Salika.
I'm too good at it. I can't. I do this every time where I'm trying to like show a mistake.
There you go.
Not even. And I like can't. Okay, here we go. So the hole is on the edge. So we want to obviously adjust it to not have any partial holes. Question so far?
Well,
Nope.
So, we'll do our big book and our little book separately.
Yes.
Okay.
So, when you do a big stack, obviously the space is not super big, so you might need to do it in sections. Make sure your alignment is right. So, I'm gonna get a chunk of paper. My alignment is where I like it to be currently. Sliding it in. That feels good. If it's too much, it won't fit. So don't try to force it in. Again, aligning to the alignment. Pressing the punch. Wow, nice. I like to do the cover separately just to avoid any mispunching. So for my demo, I have a lighter piece for the front, darker piece for the back, just to differentiate. So my covers, same logic, put them in, punch them. You want to put your things back cover to front cover. So this is my front of the book, right? That's the back. The dark blue is the back. I want to flip it around so the back is front. So we have covers facing outside to outside. Any questions on this? This is so the seam of our coil will be between the back page and the back cover. Otherwise, it will be on the outside. We don't want that. So alignment's looking pretty nice. I'm pleased with it. Question?
If we have different kinds of materials in our books, like film and paper, also, do we do those separately?
I don't think you need to do it separately, but similarly to how we did the perfect binding, if it needs a certain alignment, tape it to the page before or after it. So,
Okay.
for example, if you have like a half page of acetate right here, you want to tape it to either the page before or the page after so it stays in its place when you punch. Cool. You can punch them all the way through. Again, same logic as the guillotine, no metal, no staples. Shouldn't have any in your projects, but just thought I'd mention. So, here's C coils, look like this. They have one thicker side and one thinner side. Again, just thread it through. And you want to thread it all the way through to the thicker end of the coil. It takes me a minute every time when I'm doing it in a demo. The pressure is on. So we got it through. I'm gonna turn the C all the way around. So now the pages are not gonna move at all. They're not going anywhere. Questions so far? All the video registering how this looks right now? Cool. So now we're bringing it up top. So before we clamp, we need to adjust our increments. So you're gonna push the lever down. Does everyone see all these increments right here? If you can't come up, you're only gonna be able to see these increments when the handle is down. Please do not try to adjust this while the handle is up. Has instructions on it too, so when in doubt, just read with your eyes, but pull handle all the way forward and down. Adjust both knobs at the same time to the correct wire size. So for my demo, I'm using a 1/2 inch. You guys will be using 1.5 inch, so you'll have to scale up all the way to the top. Does everyone see the 1.5 inch mark? It's the top one.
I'm using 1 1/4.
1 1/4, so that's the second from the top, excuse me. So, again, you want to adjust them both at the same time. So to go up is counterclockwise. The left one needs some WD-40, so you might need to use a little more strength to get it up there. For my purposes though, I'm going to 1/2 inch, so I'm gonna make sure this gray piece of metal right here is aligned to the 1/2 inch line on both sides. You want it to be even. Cool? We're ready to clamp. So, again, everything is sitting on the fat side of those coils, not the pointy side. I'm gonna insert it in the C shape. So if I'm looking at it from the side, it should look just like a C. Cool? Does everyone want to look at it before I clamp? From the side, again. Bookbinding, look from the sides. That's pretty much standard across all the equipment. Cool. Now I like to use my hand to stabilize the paper so it doesn't shift. Grab the handle, close the closure. Oops, see, likes to slip out. There we go. Easy fix to reinsert. That's how it should look. Notice how the skinny side fits within the fat side. Got it? Again, this is our back cover. The dark blue is our back cover. It'll flip out. And now we have a really nice, clean coil. I think the most important and confusing part is to do covers face to face. Any questions?
Yes.
Scott has
This
questions.
is the one thing I get wrong every year. So this is my test book. We'll take this apart. I'm going to fold my back cover to the front. I'm kind of dyslexic, so I get this wrong. Do I feed my fucking coil, sorry, it makes me that angry, from the front or the back? I think I feed it from the front. Isn't it?
I mean,
To get this, to keep the seam in the back.
oh, to keep the seam in the back. You feed it from the covers downwards, so that way,
Yeah, the covers are on the front.
yes.
So,
So the skinny side should go through the covers first, not the pages first.
yeah.
Covers first, not the pages.
And you saw Salico, she pulled this lever, and you can't be afraid. You set this already, it can't go further than what you set it. You want it to go all the way. And if you don't, then you won't get a circle. You'll get something else less than a circle. And you won't like it. But it's okay, we have 2 coils. And this is super precise, that's what's nice about it. And it's really has fine threads, so you can set it exactly.
So how, if you mess up, how do you unbind?
Let's do that. Here's one now. You can just destroy it. Well, you just pick it apart, and we'll rebind this and see if I can actually figure it out. But yeah, you can just pull it apart and try again. Any other questions like that while I struggle with this?
Outside of this project, I know Scott's providing you coils, but if you needed to buy any coils for this, for any other projects, we sell all the sizes of coils in the cage. So, but luckily, you won't have to do that today. Cool? So,
It's a really good machine, and it's not the machine this is not the spiral you get at FedEx Kinko's. Theirs is really thin and cheap.
and they'll charge you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, this one is much heavier. So, yeah, this is my book. I have notes on here, but I still screw it up every year. Here's my back cover. So as Salika was explaining, bring my back cover to the front. I've labeled it inside back, so it'll be upside down, right? And make sure everything is lined up. What did we say? Feed the comb from the front? I think that's what we said.
Mm-hmm.
So the seam is in the back. This coil is way too long. This is a vertical coil. And I was going to ask for help. Okay. Now I'm going to set this at 1 1/4 inches, which could be our setting. You might not want to trust it. You might always want to. It's going to take some doing to get it up here. The left one is tough.
Scott, I know the left one has been giving me trouble as of late. So
Yeah,
I need
it's okay though. It
Okay.
goes.
Brought WD-40 pen.
Oh, there you go.
Pass it around, write your name on it.
Wait, so for the alignment thing, for like the paper punching,
Mm-hmm.
if you have smaller pieces of paper, you have to move it.
Yes, for every size paper.
Okay.
And Saliko's exactly right. Like, you can't come in here with any paper. It has to be the same size of your pages, because that's what you're measuring.
Oh.
This is probably the hardest part. It's
Yeah,
not hard,
that's
it's
what I'm
just
most scared
fussy.
Yes. It's involved one of
And
fussing.
you worked on it long enough, you want it perfect. So I'm at an inch and a quarter. And so here I am. I like to do it this way. And the thing is let's see if I get a circle. And I'm all the way down.
Beautiful.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But did I get the seam right? That's the thing. Oh, but I didn't get my little book in.
Oh.
I think double checking before we do
Yes,
the crank
for
is
sure. I was so excited. Yeah, and my seam, the seam for the coil is in the rear of the book. We don't want it in the front. Actually, that example we had in class, that orange book, that one's incorrect. And then we have wire cutters. And you can cut it off at a nice place. And it's actually kind of tough. As in rhino tough. Tough as a rhino. Anyway, what else can we say? I think
I'll be here till 4 today.
punching your covers, I mean, you could put a couple pages in at once. I wouldn't, you don't need to rush it. Kind of want it right. And I think making sure it's at the bottom. And where's our, here we go. Am I plugged in? And how did I miss that whole entire?
There's no hole right here, so.
Also,